All right, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has done what she promised to do. She has filed articles of impeachment against multiple Supreme Court justices. Those justices are Clarence Thomas, as well as Samuel Alito, known to many as Samuel Alito Jr. Why is she doing this? Well, I will let her explain it. Take a listen to this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to introduce articles of impeachment against Associate Justices of the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Anthony Alito Jr.
Right.
Against Justice Thomas, the resolution includes 3 total articles. 1 count of failure to disclose financial income, gifts, reimbursements, property interest liabilities, and transactions, among other information. And 2 counts of refusal to recuse from matters concerning his spouse's legal and financial interests before the court. The second resolution includes the following impeachment articles against Justice Alito. 1 count of refusal to recuse from cases in which he had a personal bias or prejudice concerning a party before the court, and 1 count of failure to disclose financial incomes, gifts, reimbursements, property interests, among other information.
So that is the basis for these very much warranted articles of impeachment. It's nice to see Democrats playing offense every once in a while. In this case, it's also very much warranted. I would love to see more of it, although I don't believe this is going anywhere. But that's not always what matters. Here is AOC explaining that the proof is really undeniable here.
Is undeniable. And here I will lay it out. Justice Clarence Thomas, for decades now, has carried on a close, financially entangled personal relationship with real estate billionaire Harlan Crow.
Indeed.
It is of material importance to the American people to note that Justice Thomas's relationship to the billionaire only began after Thomas's powerful appointment to our nation's highest court. The cash, goods, and services Justice Thomas received over the years include large loan balance cancellations, tuition payments for family, and vacations in private jets and yachts worth up to $500,000 alone.
AOC continues explaining the details of the Clarence Thomas stuff, much of which I've reported to you and much of which we've discussed. And then she also explains the case against Samuel Alito, which is quite a vile case, I might mention.
Now take Justice Samuel Alito, who has no shortage of billionaire associates of his own. After billionaire Paul Singer gave Justice Alito a luxury fishing trip on a private jet, a contribution that was also hidden from the public and the court, Justice Alito not only refused to recuse, but changed his mind regarding his gracious host's case. Just a short time after accepting the lavish undisclosed trip from Singer, Alito joined the court in reversing its previous position and took up Singer's case. He did not recuse. Justice Alito also refused to recuse in the case itself, ultimately leading to a ruling that netted Singer $2.4 billion. And that ruling did not just enrich Singer. It also structurally tilted the playing field further away from working people and towards the vulture funds, siphoning money and resources away from the communities that need them most.
So listen, this is, of course, correct. We know that one of the real problems with the Supreme Court, and we've talked about before how even their new ethical standards guidelines have no enforcement mechanism and no teeth whatsoever. We know that the Supreme Court only has oversight in some theoretical sense. These impeachments are going nowhere. But why is it that I think this is a good idea when in the past I've found some of the symbolic things that AOC or others wanted to do not particularly logical? Well, this is a reminder that there are people out there trying to hold the unaccountable accountable. And as a reminder also, because the Supreme Court played such a role not only with the recent Trump immunity decision, but in overturning Roe v. Wade and in so many other ways. This injects back into the discussion the corrosive and destructive and vile impact of this right-wing MAGA court into the discussion. And hopefully, and I know I'm thinking optimistically here, hopefully it also will remind folks this is how much damage the Supreme Court has done and what it has become. with just 3 Trump picks. If Trump wins and gets 2 more, we could be talking about an even more weaponized Supreme Court. But not only that, we could be talking about a MAGA majority Supreme Court until 2048 or 2050, or even into the second half of the 21st century. So I don't think the impeachment will go anywhere, but I still think this is worth doing. If there's any criticism, it would be, hey, AOC, maybe do it in September or even very early October to try to maximize the impact on the election. But this is the sort of symbolic action that I can get behind. I know some people will say, David, it's not symbolic, it's real. Okay, yeah, it's real. They're real articles of impeachment. I just don't have any reason to think it's going anywhere. This is something I can get behind to the extent that it reminds voters all the Supreme Court stuff we said in 2016 about Hillary versus Trump, it came true. Let's not make that same mistake again.